And it's going. All right, so hope everybody has your glass of water with you. Write down the names of all of those who you wish to bring for our vibration. Yes, and welcome to Bezerra Spiritual Healing Center. As I always say, thank you for coming this beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. All right, so hope everybody has your glass of water with you. Wait, just 1 second. Write down the name of all of those who I have to mute myself.
Kiki double self.
It's because you guys can hear the YouTube thing. All right. So as I mentioned to you, we are a Bezerra Spiritual Healing Center. We respect all religions and all spiritual traditions. We are members of the United States Spiritist Federation. So our beliefs are around scientific, philosophical, and religious principles of the Spiritism. And even before I start talking about this, because today is a very special day, I would like to invite someone to do our opening prayer. Do we have a volunteer? Tanya, you want to do the opening prayer?
Yeah, I can do. If nobody wanna, let's give opportunity for the new people. Hosanna.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So let's in this moment, with such gratitude and happiness in our heart, asking our Heavenly Father to bless us with the spirit of wisdom, so we may be open to understand the truth of and the freedom of the teachings of Spiritism and the teachings of today. It is a very important topic. So let's we be open mind and ask our Heavenly Father to bless our beloved brother, Robbie, with the spirit of love, with the spirit of wisdom, and with the spirit of truth. So may the teachings of today come to clarify and freedom our soul from the past experiences. As a spiritual being, and we are travelers, and we have been traveling so many lives and so many times in so many different bodies in different countries and traditions to be who we are today here as a spiritual and sons and daughters of God. May your blessings shine over us, and may from us a little rays of your love, Heavenly Father, may go united with the Son, the great Son, the Christ Son that you have manifest on the earth through our beloved Jesus Christ. And together we can shine the truth, the light, and the love. In your name, Heavenly Father, and the name of this great Spirit, the great consolers, we are open our service today. Be with us, guiding us, protect us, and allow us to be in service of your merciful love. And so be it, and so it is.
So good.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. So welcome, everybody. As I was mentioning to you, we are members of the United States Spiritist Federation. So our beliefs are around scientific, philosophical, and religious principles of the Spiritism. And we are in a very important day. Today, we are celebrating 160 years that this amazing book was written by Allan Kardec. This is the Spirits book. This is when Allan Kardec, knowing the Spiritism, started making questions for the spirits to understand a little bit more what is Spiritism. So it is a beautiful book to study. We do have a study group that I'm going to talk about this. But just to set the stage, Tanya asked for us to read just a little bit part of this one. And when I opened, it just opened on the page that is related to the topic that is going to be talked today. So this is amazing itself. And I will read just a small piece of this. It's question 171 about justice of reincarnation. The question that Allan Kardec did was, what is the basis of reincarnation? The answer was, reincarnation is based on God's justice and revelation. An affectionate father, as we have already explained, always grants his children the opportunity to redeem themselves, no matter how rebellious they may be. Reason alone dictates that it would be unfair to inflict eternal misery on those who have not had the opportunity to improve themselves. Aren't we all God's children? Injustice, merciless hatred, and unrelating punishments are only found in the worlds of selfish people. So it's beautiful. And it's just showing us why there are reincarnations, because it's related to God's justice. And today we'll have a lot to hear about that, because our brother Robbie is going to talk about this. But really, I would like just that all of us make a good vibration to Allan Kardec, to give thanks for him, for leading this beautiful service of getting together so many mediums and so many people that worked, so then we could have all of this with us today for us to learn. So thank you, Allan Kardec. Thank you, all the mediums and all the workers that worked for us to be here today, speaking about Jesus and his lessons and this beautiful truth that was also brought into us. So a big thank you for Allan Kardec and all the mediums. So as we keep learning, we have a lot of other books, and one of those is from Emmanuel, the spirit mentor from Chico Xavier. And he teaches us that knowledge and love are the wings for our spiritual awakening, for our spiritual evolution. So that's why you will see that this service is split into two parts. The first one, we will have someone speaking to us, and then the second part, we will have hands-on healing, where you will receive passes. But of course, the vibration starts since we are here all together. So during the speaking, your participation is really important. Your mentor is already supporting you for you to download the insights that you need for you to keep working during your week. So please be an active listener. I always like to suggest for you to write down some of the messages that come into you, so then you can keep working in this beautiful vibration and reflection along the week. We do have some services and classes. So we have fraternal counseling every Wednesday by appointment with one of the mediums in BSH. You can schedule your time slot from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. We are here to support you. We are here with open heart for you. It's a space for you. So even if you just want to pray, we are here to pray together and get strength together. The way that you can ask for an appointment, you can send an email for info@bshcenter.org, or you can send a message for us. If it's easier, you can send a message for anyone that you have a number. If you don't have any number, I'm going to post here mine, and you can just tell me that you would like to schedule an appointment. We also have classes that started beginning of March. Inner transformation. So Emmanuel, in the book Thought and Life, told us that evolution demands that we develop new habits, that we detach ourselves from lower forms and walk towards higher stages of existence. And we all know here that detaching from old habits is not an easy task, right? So the idea is that we join hearts and forces so then we can understand what the high spirituality guides us for us to be successful in this journey. So join us the first and third, first and third Tuesdays of the month at Divine Light. We are doing in collaboration with Divine Light with Sunshine Back from 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific time. And then again, after the class, we also have passes. I will post the link here for you. We also have the Spirits Book Study Group, as I was mentioning to you, but this is the first book that Allan Kardec wrote. It has more than 1,000 questions, and we have an amazing discussion every Thursday from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. with our sister Duska in the same link that you used for you to come here. I will also post it. We also have weekly our dearest Mark Carlos teaching us music for our spiritist soul. We know that music is the purest form of art. So we just wanted you to participate in this incredible expression of beauty. You don't have to have experience with music. It's just a beautiful and very fun way for us to be more in contact with what music represents to us and how we can benefit from that. Every Friday from 6:30 to 7:30 Pacific time with Mark Carlos. We also have Introduction to Spiritism. And we know that Spiritism uncovers the path not only for the individual, but also the collective progress. So even if you are an advanced student, this meeting is not only about receiving information, it's also about giving. So join us for you to bring your perspective, for you to share your experience and share with your friends that are kind of understanding the Spiritism. It's every first and third Saturday of each month, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Pacific time, with our dearest Robbie Brown, which is the teacher is going to speak today. And we also have Spiritism for the Youth. It is a very special way of bringing Jesus' message to our children, and we invite everybody to support this next generation in this path. So again, everybody's welcome to join. It's a beautiful festive meeting every second and fourth Sunday of each month from 8:30 to 9:30, right before this service here with our brother, Brian Abil. All right, so I don't think I have any more announcements. Everybody again is welcome to join us anytime. And today we'll have Robbie talking about the opportunity of this incarnation. For those who still don't know Robbie, he is grateful for the ability to discover and work on himself for the benefit of all. We have so much potential and we are blessed with all the wisdom from the teachings of Jesus. You are absolutely right, my brother. So please welcome Robbie. Help me to welcome Robbie. The stage is yours, friend. You are on mute. We can see your screen, but you're still mute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry
now we
about
can
that.
hear you.
Get this. I got a bar that won't go way up there, but okay. Everyone can hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Okay, cool. Yay. All right, let's start off by saying this was really interesting. I'm so glad I did pick this topic. I kind of wait for topics to come to me, and what a topic this turned out to be. Opportunity, I started in a general sense. I was just going to talk about opportunity. And then I was discussing this with someone, and then they pointed out to me, what opportunity are you talking about? Which made me reflect further and narrow it down to this incarnation. Because as we look at opportunity, the more I dwelled into it, it's interesting because it's on a big scale. I didn't realize how big this scale was of opportunity and how it can keep being narrowed down. just within our discussion this morning, I heard people referring to the opportunity to go to college, opportunity to study, the opportunity for me to present. It's intertwined in a way that's absolutely fascinating. So as with all these topics, I invite everyone, really do the research, especially on this one. You'll find it amazing the more you dig into it. It's absolutely fascinating. And this was the screen, actually, this slide here, that really showed me how much more I still have to learn. Because I was like, wow, what am I going to say about opportunity? Because I had all my other slides, what I'm going to say, everything's on it. I did my research. But it was this one I struggled with, because like, how do I lead into this? Which showed me in so many ways how much opportunity is. Like I say, I like to start out saying opportunity is defined as a set of circumstances that makes it possible to do something. And that's a very open-ended kind of broad definition, but I think it needs to be with opportunity, because the something can refer to our life, that God has given us the opportunity to allow us to progress, has given this opportunity and continual opportunities to do it. But then within that broad aspect, as opportunity breaks it down in so many levels. And I've presented a few here just with reference to taking advantage of the opportunity for change, and the opportunity to be charitable. But as I look at the screen here, I was so glad to find this image because I love it. And that's it. That's, to me, when the further I progress, is I love that. Arms up, opportunity. Because that's what it should be to us. Because it's amazing that we're here. It's amazing that we've been given just reoccurring opportunities to come down for our benefit, for us to progress as a spirit, to evolve, and all the wonderful things that come through this opportunity. One quote from William Arthur Ward: opportunities are like a sunrise. If you wait too long, you will miss them. But the opportunity for another one comes. And that's one thing as I transition on here with this. I want people to realize that we shouldn't be focused on opportunities missed, because if we focus too hard to the back, or to the past on that, we're going to start digging into regret, which are going to teach us in a way that if we can avoid, that will be beneficial to us. But whatever teaches you is wonderful, and we need to get that in our mind too. Everything's here to teach, and how grateful we should be for all of it. So our lives in the corporeal realm of this existence are a continuum of opportunities that greet us at birth, embrace us throughout our existence, and one day expire as the final grains of sand inevitably drop in our hourglass. Each grain of sand representing an opportunity for us to progress through paying off past debts, expiation, advancing by means of trials or missions, all the while engaging in a wonderful process of knowing thyself. And how blessed we are to do that, because I haven't always thought of it in that light. I never really thought about opportunities on the grand scale of the divine, of how blessed we are to be here. But I singled out opportunities for a job and opportunities for education, while all the while missing the overall theme of it, But, ignorance is as it is, and I've learned to be so grateful for this. And it's such a beautiful thing for all of us to be here. And it's interesting to look at this, as the hourglass, especially, each grain of those sands representing an opportunity. And I understand that we don't always, we're not going to be taking advantage of all of our opportunities all the time, but we should be making the most of all of them, because first and foremost, we don't know how much sand is in our hourglass, and that's going to vary for each individual who's down here. So taking advantage of all of them that we can, and I like to put things in perspective for me. It's like I'm trying to eat better and do better, lose a little weight, get in better shape. So I have an opportunity every time I put something on my plate to eat to make it good or bad. And if I keep putting the good stuff on, I'm going to get some good results out of it, and it's going to work for me. But each one of those represent an opportunity for me to get the goal that I've set for myself. And as I was reflecting on this, going through my slides this morning, it was a nice tie to math. And I don't know how many of us out there, I don't know if I would say the honor. It was great to do calculus. It's a very deep subject. but breaking it down into the science too, to show opportunities, how they are singular, but add up to a whole as well. And the process of integration, basically we can have an area that's under a curve here. And this process is by breaking them down infinitesimally small slices and getting areas to comprise the whole. And that really reflected with me this morning. I don't know where it came from. I'll have to thank spirits for that, but just it popped in my mind. Calculus was useful for something. I don't use it too much in my everyday anymore. But that's us. The whole graph there represents our opportunity. And within the whole of that graph are little slices that comprise the whole, but they offer opportunities. And it's up to us to decide through our free will if we're going to take advantage of these, or we're just, it's going to reflect how our graph is successful or not for us on our journey here. And to tie this, I wanted to get a couple of the Spirits book, and I know a lot of you have probably seen these, but just to show what the opportunities mean, it's Spirits book 919. What is the most effective means of improving ourselves? And I got this blocking again. Okay. In this life and for resisting the draw of evil. It's to know thyself. And the process to know thyself is to take advantage of this opportunity, to move forward, to know ourselves, to truly put in the effort of understanding who we are. And that's taking advantage of the opportunity given to us. To not just not go where it's uncomfortable, but to truly know ourselves so we can make the most of this opportunity given to us. Because as we learn in question 132, what is the purpose of the incarnation of the spirits? God imposes incarnation for the purpose of leading spirits to perfection. And I like how Duska pointed out in one of the Spirits books class, we're not getting to perfection, we're leading to perfection. And how we are led to perfection is through the opportunities given to us. And it's up to us as if we stunt our growth. And I believe this kind of reflects here. It's how can a soul that did not reach perfection during its corporeal life complete the work of its perfection by submitting to the trial of a new existence? How does the soul accomplish this new existence? Through its transformation of the spirit. As it purifies itself, the soul, of course, undergoes a transformation, but for this to occur, it needs the trial of corporeal life. We need these opportunities given to us. And I would like to thank Sunshine for pointing this question out in the Spirits book study class as well, because it's fit in so perfectly. And when she referred to it, I was like, oh, that's great. I'll pop this right in here. Then does the soul live many corporeal existences? Yes, we all live many lives, and those who say otherwise wish to keep you in their ignorance in which they themselves dwell. That's their desire, that's their free will, that's their life. And as Chico Xavier told us all, we give them the right to be who they are, and we give ourselves the duty to be better. We give ourselves the duty of taking advantage of this opportunity for seeking what this opportunity means to us and what we're going to do with it. And there is no better, Jesus is a wonderful example for so many things, but for taking advantage of the opportunity, I really love what Paul brought to us. The book of Galatians is a Pauline epistle, letter from Paul. It was written by the Apostle Paul about 49 AD, prior to the Jerusalem Council, which had taken place in 50 AD. But I love this one here. I did scratch out one thing, but that's just my own preference because I don't like to refer to everything as men in life or he. It's one of my things that's always been in my life. I like it like kind of neutral because it's all of us, So as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all, especially unto them who are the household of faith. And we're all in the household of faith. So let us bring good to all we encounter and allow no intentions of judgment to develop within us. Let us greet all with a welcoming heart inspired by the compassionate teachings of Jesus. And Paul is such a wonderful story. Our brother Paul is a great example of what it is to take advantage of an opportunity. The same opportunity that is presented to each of us, that no matter what our story is, we all have within us the potential to rise above ignorance and better align our will with that of God's, to be just and good. And that's something we all have to realize. Like, we can't get down on ourselves because maybe we messed up the first half of our life. But it's if we take that opportunity to learn from it and to realize that, and I truly believe this, that we all have that potential that Paul has. Are we going to put in the effort to get there? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. But it all lives within us. We can all at any time have, make a lot of mistakes in the beginning and then just turn it if we so choose. But Paul is also a beautiful example of what it is to live the words by putting them into practice. We need to come to terms with the fact that we will make mistakes, for it is part of the process. It's what we allow those mistakes to teach us that matters, that we don't allow our past to hold us captive, thereby stunting the potential for our growth. And that's key. We can't, it's okay to reflect on the past and see what it is that we've made mistakes, but they're not there to consume us. They're there to guide us that that's not what we want to do. And I've done that to myself in life. Like, I get it. Like, all this stuff that I talk about, I can talk about because I can relate to it for myself. But it's you can't allow something, no matter what the mistake. I mean, Paul had people put to death, and he had his hands in a lot of persecuting people. And what a beautiful book Paul and Stephen is, for those who haven't read it. It's a wonderful story. But it shows, like I say, the potential we have, that you can learn from your mistakes, and we shouldn't be captive from them. They shouldn't chain us and hold us back from progressing, that we learn from them, come to terms with them, and we move forward. Because that's making the most of the opportunity. That's taking advantage of it. Life wasn't meant to come down, and at least at this, where we are on this world, it's not meant for us to just have, it all come to us easy. We need the trials, and we're paying off past mistakes through our expiations, but we need those trials to enable to show us, what it is that we're mistaken. They're here to teach us. All of us here to teach us. And we shouldn't be viewing some as negative and some as positive. All is meant as it should be, or God wouldn't allow it to be. So we need to keep these things in mind. And Thought in Life, Chico Xavier, through the Spirit Emmanuel, Chapter 7, Work. Beyond the obligation to work principle, through we are remunerated, we have much reached a point where we feel the pleasure to serve. And that's taking advantage of the opportunity to me. That's where it isn't, we may have to do things and throw little fits, or however you want to view it, of moving forward. But this is all meant to understand what we're given. And when we start to understand, and we're taking advantage of our opportunities down here, each and every day, these opportunities are presented to us. But when we start amassing enough in the correct direction, it should be viewed as a pleasure to serve. It shouldn't be something that I'm like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that. You may have to begin there, and that's where you move forward, but it should be through understanding of all we're given, that we want to help people to get there, that we don't want to just worry about ourselves, that we want to create an opportunity for others to get where they need to be as well. An opportunity for change. I love Albert Einstein. The more I learn about him, the more I appreciate his spirit. I always thought of him as just science, and I never seen the spiritual, religious side to him, whichever way you want to put it. But the measure of intelligence is the ability to change. It's what our life is. That's change, right? That's what my life's been for me. Some of it dramatic, some of it slow. Nature, we got the seasons that change. Our planet goes through change. Everything is change. And there's an opportunity for change, though. And that's how we have to look at it. It's opportunity invites so many things, but change is what we're about. We're changing, we're progressing, we're moving forward. And in Heart and Soul, Chico Xavier, once again through the Spirit Emmanuel, in Chapter 1, starting again. You forget, though, that the wisdom of life determines that every morning brings a new day. Starting again is the process of nature, from the simple seeds to the solar giant. Every second is an opportunity for change. And it doesn't have to be every morning. I get the point, it's beautiful. But every second is an opportunity to invite us, we can start anew. And it's determined to us through our free will if we take advantage of this or not. But the opportunity for change presents itself continuously, as do opportunities. And in Thought and Life, Chico Xavier Emmanuel, Chapter 7 work, to undo the handcuffs of evil we have forged against our souls, we must seek goodness, fill it, visualize it, and mold it with all the resources we can muster. I try to always put that one in my presentations, and I hear it, and every time it's such a beautiful reminder. It's not going to be easy work all the time, but we have to bring it in. We have to understand, like what I was referring to in the beginning, that once you reflect on opportunity, which I so invite everyone to do, we don't know how much sand is in our hourglass. It's something that we have to let sink in, and that this opportunity here, it's an honor to be here. It's an honor to work on ourselves. And we have to make it our dedication. We can't allow the laws of society to come in and start pulling us off our path. They're there, we need to do them, but how much we need to do them depends on how serious you are, I guess, on changing yourself. Because you can be very easily, especially in a society so heavily based on materialism as the United States is, to just get pulled off and to get caught up into things that aren't going to really allow you to progress. They're just going to be taking those grains of sand from you. And I'm not saying you have to live with nothing or live on the streets or whatever it is. There's a, to find harmony, and that's things we have to seek. Or, as Martin Luther King Jr. tells us here, change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. And that's why I paired it up there with that quote. That's right. It's going to be a struggle. Like, don't expect it all to be easy. That was a misnomer on my part when I started really making dedication to changing myself. I had this preconceived notion that I would do a little study and I would get to this blissful state. And I do to a certain degree, but I never imagined how much work it would be. Because I'd never done it, not in this lifetime at least. And we all know or understand that when we come back in, we lose a lot of our knowledge. So coming in as an eye-opener to me, I was like, wow, I have to put continual effort all the time. I was like, I don't just get to that point where it's all just simple, but that doesn't make sense. As I got there now, I realized that isn't how it should be, and we should have to earn it. And in order to earn it, if you really want to make progress down here, you got to do exactly what the Spirit Manual tells us. You got to fill it in all your resources you can muster, because releasing those bad habits of the past, it's not easy. Even when you recognize them, you can still struggle with them, and I can absolutely attest to that. And interesting on the summary of Darwin's theory of evolution, I like that last piece there. Those species whose individuals are best adapted to survive. Adapted, right? A change or process by which an organism or species becomes better suited to its environment. We could switch that around for us in a change or process by which we evolve spiritually for us. But examples are everywhere for us. The examples of change are just, like I say, in the seasons, in the solar system, nothing stays as is. So why would we be any different from that? We have to see that we're connected into everything the same, that we're not just separate entities that don't, go through what everything else has to. Everything's changing and everything's evolving around us. And so Spirit Book question 117, does it depend on spirits themselves to hasten their advancement towards perfection? Absolutely. The amount of time it takes them depends on their desire and submission to God's will. Doesn't a well-behaved child learn faster than one who is obstinate? Once again, where's our desire to move forward? And we're all going to find ourselves at varying degrees of this, because as I reflect back on my past life, or my past life, sorry, my life, this life, we'll keep it in this one. I can see the change in me, and I didn't have a desire to change. And to be honest with it, change scared me. It was like, I always joked around. It was like, I'm not about change. I like things as they are, but that was my little comfort zone. Because as I learned, as I've moved forward, and I've heard this mentioned many times, the amount of courage it takes to work on ourselves. It's not easy. And if you look around and reflect upon society, you can see a lot of avenues people take because they don't want to go there. And I can relate to all of them because I didn't. it's scary to look within us and start that process. It's much easier to look without and judge and do all that. We can all understand that. Or I hope everyone can understand that. And then Gandhi, be the change that you wish to see in the world, right? An opportunity to be the change that we want to see. That's what we do. We need to bring change about in a way that to recognize it as an opportunity, not something that we have to do. It's something that it's an honor to do. And when we start setting things in that tone, it has become easier for me to look at the good on it, not that I have to do this so someone doesn't look unfavorably upon me or get upset with me, that it's an honor to do that and to be an example for others so I don't bring the challenge to them, because I'm getting a better understanding of how much work it is to change yourself. And I don't want to be viewed as a hindrance or that lesson for someone. I'll take advantage of it and try to be as positive as I'm able to at this point. So heart and soul, again, the Spirit Emmanuel tells us in chapter 13, from sunrise to sunset, the only solution is to focus the mind and heart on the Spirit of the Lord. And he, the divine master, will make the work productive and bring rest to our hearts, right? The more we align our will with God, the more that we show that we're here to take advantage of the opportunity, the more that we show through our actions that we're willing to change, because we start to understand why we're here and what this opportunity is. And also in chapter 11, Your Mind, of that same book, Spirit Emmanuel tells us, work, study, do the good, and forget the evil, the ignorance, in order to regiment against the mist of our ignorance, right? We got to constantly be moving forward, doing the good, forget our past mistakes the best we can. Don't dwell on them. Be kind to ourselves, right? Got to always mention that, because we can get down on ourselves so much, too much. Then there's the opportunity, a little facet within this broad opportunity, is to be charitable. And from Mother Teresa, love is not patronizing, and charity isn't about pity. It's about love. Charity and love are the same. With charity, you give love. So don't just give money, but reach your hand out instead. That's so beautiful. And I don't ever want to discredit people giving money. But as I learned, I would always thought that's all I had to do. And from myself, I realized there's so much more to give than just beyond that. And that's wonderful. Like, I really don't want to come across that way. But that is the easiest. And I can't, I think it was in Jesus in the Home, or one of the books we read, or I was studying, that, that's the easiest. And it made sense, because I looked at myself, it's like, it's very easy to see someone need and hand them a 20 and move on with my day. Like, that's so easy for myself, and it's giving, and I'm sure they understand it. But how much more would it mean to that individual if they needed a meal, if I bought it and sat down with them, that I took time out of my day to be charitable and to give to them in a way that reality, most of us are all doing the same thing. And that's wonderful. Like I say, I don't want to go there, but it's nice to see that we can go a lot further with it. And the opportunity is there, but are we going to take advantage of it once again? And Heart and Soul, again, great book. I'm so glad I picked that one up. Giving, in essence, means opening paths, supporting opportunities, and multiplying relationships. Yeah, supporting opportunities, right? It's amazing when you start, or when I did, and just listening to people as well, how often you hear the word opportunity start to pop up. And before doing this, and like I said, I learned from the first slide, wow, I have so much more to learn on this. It's amazing. It's out there a lot. And I really didn't have a well-defined concept of what it was. And also within, we can all distribute consolation, enthusiasm, kindness, encouragement. That's really taking advantage, right? And I'm learning that more and more, smiling to people on a daily basis, saying hello. I always like when I go hiking at Empire Mine, especially. I love that area. But I make it a point to say hi to everyone. And not everyone chooses to respond, and that's fine. It doesn't matter. That's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for me to share a smile and say hello with people. And we have so many opportunities like that on a daily basis. We just need to recognize them and understand, once again, like I really, really want to hammer home, we don't know how long we're here. So why not, take advantage of it? because as I'm a hospice volunteer, I haven't been able to do so much lately with COVID, but seeing people at the end of life, doing a little research on it, people will tend to have a lot of regrets because I don't think people take the time to truly understand what this opportunity is and that it is limited. I know we all understand we're going to die, but when it gets there, it's real and it's different than just like me imagining it, hey, I'm 80, 90 years old, if I make it that long, doesn't guarantee that I'm there. And that for me, putting this presentation together was so nice because it made me reflect. Like I love the hourglass to really understand that. Like, wow, how much do I have? How big is my hourglass? You know, because like I say, we all assume we're going to go into our golden years, but that isn't always the case. And we're not always going to be granted the opportunity to reflect back on our life and see what we would have done different. That's something too that I've caught within myself, and I think others may as well, is that we're going to have that time to reflect. We're not guaranteed these things. So Jesus in the Home, Chico Xavier through Neil Liso, chapter 20, Secret Charity. How can you show compassion if you don't have any money? How can you encourage benevolence if you have no financial resources? Even so, he realized that if he couldn't do any public charity, he could at least wage war against evil in all circumstances of his earthly existence. We have lots of opportunities. Money doesn't define charity. It's just a small piece of it. And as like we discussed, it might be the easiest. But we can hand out bread and blankets. We can light the lamp for ignorance, and we can strengthen fraternity by wiping out discord. But let's not ignore the daily, methodical, and serene battle against evil, convinced that in this holy struggle we will win the divine crown of secret charity. That's right, the daily battles. Because it was interesting at one point, I remember reflecting, like people were discussing, it was something with Christmas. Is it better to give once a year or throughout the year? Is it better to give just money, or is it better to just on a daily basis do the little things? Because maybe we all can't in this society give out money, but we can in a lot of ways if we search, be charitable, and take advantage of that opportunity that comes to us in many ways. And we just have to start looking into those more. And by first and foremost, understanding what this opportunity is, to progress, it's to do the good, align our will with God, be charitable. All those things are in one. And true charity occurs only when there are no notions of giving, giver, or gift. That's deep. I love that. That's deep. But we hope to get there. I would struggle with that, to be just quite honest. I love it, and I hope someday I do it. But the notions of me giving to a certain degree, to not separate those, it would be a challenge for me to say I could actually obtain that right now. I could understand why it is I do that, but I hope someday to get there. That would be awesome. You're just doing it, like I can't remember what the said, but just doing it without thinking. A pleasure to serve. It becomes second nature, I guess. And question 8970 or 897 in the Spirit's book: are those blameworthy who do good without seeking a reward on earth, but in the hope that it may be taken into account in the next life, so that their situation there may be better? And does such a thought harm their advancement? Interesting question, definitely tying in to obtaining what Buddha was talking about. One must do good out of charity, that is selflessly. And that's, boy, I like it, but there is that pride, not pride, just acknowledgement of the self when I do things still, that I do it for the benefit of others, and that is selflessly to agree. But I just love that so much, what Buddha said, no, just doing it because it needs to be done without thinking of anything else, making it complicated, simple. Just they need help, you give it to them, you move on. That's beautiful. And in 886, what is the true meaning of charity as Jesus understood it? Benevolence towards everyone, indulgence towards the imperfection of others, and forgiveness for offenses. Once again, right, that's what we're all striving for, is to be good, do the good, and to be understanding, which leads, or is going to lead to the golden rule coming up in a couple. I thought it was the next one, but that's what we're all striving for, right? So question 919, what is the most effective means of improving ourselves in this life for resisting the draw of evil? And that's our nightly review, right? And that, what could we have been more charitable? Could we have taken opportunities, taken advantage of the opportunities a little more? It's a wonderful way to really progress forward and to move on with ourselves. I'll go a little faster because I'm just being good with time. I don't want to run over. So I found I can talk a little too much at times. Whoever does not love God does not know God, because God is charity, right? God is charity. God is so many beautiful things, but absolutely one is charity. We're here. We have this opportunity. That's absolute charity for our progression. It's wonderful. Thought and Life, Chico Xavier, Chapter 21, Duty. We may then symbolically describe duty as a series of activities in the arena of goodness that the Supreme Lord gives us the responsibility to execute. This is done to uphold order and the advancement of his divine work and for our own self-development. A series of activities, right? And those series of activities are because we have a series of opportunities. And then live as you were to die tomorrow, learn as you were to live forever. And the best way to find yourself, lose yourself in the service of others. Gandhi has a lot of beautiful quotes, as do a lot of people, but I really resonate with this. I have that bottom one there on my title block for work because I absolutely love that. But an interesting one, I'll kind of go through a little faster. Question 913 of the Spirit's book, of all the vices, which may we regard as the root? And it's selfishness and pride. But the opportunity to learn from selfishness and pride, that's what I took away when I did this, that yes, it is, they refer to it as a scourge of the planet, that we struggle, it's what holds us back. But if we didn't have it, then we wouldn't need it. So we should take the opportunity to truly learn from that, because it's everywhere. I mean, it's all over this planet. So we need, we wouldn't be given it if we didn't need it. So let's take the opportunity to look at how selfish we are, how prideful we are, and really examine it, because it's for us to learn from. And the only way we're going to learn from it is through nightly reviews, reflecting on what we could do differently with our opportunities. That it's an invitation that these are things you need to learn. So let's learn them. I like to look at things in the positive, not on how it's going to hold me back anymore, but what I can do with it from moving forward. And that's one of the reasons why I want to teach myself to be less selfish, because I look around at my existence and absolutely I could say I'm selfish in certain degrees. But I'm hoping by, going to school, back to school, to get my master's in divinity and to go serve and to be a hospice chaplain, or to be a chaplain in a sense, to put others first. And I took it serious in my life, and I didn't want to be selfish worrying about my retirement, my situation, because it just keeps following me as I look at it. So to truly be selfless and to learn about this, I decided to make it important in my life to give up my opportunity to have it so-called easy and set myself up good. And I would rather struggle a little bit more and learn what it is to put others first than not. And I'm not doing this for anything other than just to share with you guys for myself that I do take some of these more serious now than I ever have. And if we can find ways within us to move forward, to truly examine who we are, to take advantage of this opportunity the best, there's going to be rewards for it. And those rewards are your wonderful example for others. You're showing gratitude for this opportunity to God, that you're taking it seriously, and that you're inconveniencing yourself to a certain degree, as my take on it for myself, that I'm not just taking the easy road out. I'm going to take the hard road, and whatever it brings, I'll allow it to teach me. And which was leading to what I said earlier, like the golden rule, and everything you do to others, you would have them do to you. It fits in so many ways. That's so taking advantage of the opportunity to help others, the opportunity to show gratitude, the opportunity to rise above yourself and to put others' needs at the same as yours. Not that it's just all about you. Do what you can, with this opportunity. Push yourself. Don't be afraid of getting frustrated. It's when we're physically hurt on something, our body tells us to stop, and that is an invitation to stop. But mentally, I would say to reverse it. If you're going somewhere that's tough for you, that's an invitation that you need to put in the work. So take advantage of that. It's like it's not pleasant. I understand it, and it hasn't been for me. But the greatest rewards have come where I've pushed myself through that, because on the backside of that, which you can't see, is the wisdom. But you're not going to get there without going through. And it shouldn't be any different. Like I said, I thought it would be easy, and I guess we all hope for it, but now I don't. Like, I don't want things to be hard for me, but I'm not afraid to understand what they are. And I get that they're there for our benefit. They aren't there for you to stop, because it's difficult. And courage is required to walk through that emotional pain or discomfort. Absolutely. But it's what we need to do. It really is. And to understand that that's an opportunity or a signal to you, it's telling you like how wonderful that is. It's pointing out to you that this is tough for you. So you maybe have put it off, or maybe you don't want to acknowledge it, but it's an indicator, an invitation. It shouldn't be viewed as bad. You should be happy that you were being told that you need to work on it. At least that's how I try to view things now. So make the most of your opportunity. Absolutely. As I need guidance on my life, let me reflect that others need the same. Let my opportunity reveal, through my thought and actions, a better sense of love, understanding, and compassion to all I encounter. Let our gratitude for this opportunity be shown through the efforts we make. That our struggles best endured in silence, and I love all of you for presenting that, because my mom, who is listening, would probably at times appreciate that as well. I struggle so hard with that. I'm a person that needs to get things out, but I am so trying on that part of me. They're a blessing for allow for our spiritual evolution to take place. So thank you, my creator, for all you've given me and all you give to everyone else. So thank you for listening. I hope it made sense, because it made sense up to me up here, but I don't always know how that translates. But the most I wanted to get for everyone is to look into this subject. It's fascinating. Take time to really dig into it and to look stuff up online, see the definition, see how others have used it, see how it reflects in your life, because this is us this time, and this is our opportunity as we are. And next time we're going to be different. And if you take advantage of the opportunity, you're going to find yourself in a little bit better place, because you will have deserved it, because you'll put in the effort. So thank you, everybody. And like I say, I hope something resonated with this for each and every one. Thank you. Yay.
Wow, Robbie, that was beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, brother. Very inspiring. Um, yeah, we know that opportunity is something that we need to be like very much aware, right? We all have that. And you just reminded me of something that I read, I think it was earlier this morning, in the book Instruments of Time, uh, by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. There is a chapter that says, the chapter is You Will Come Back Tomorrow. And one specific part of this says, the opportunity like goes away. The opportunity goes away, but the delayed labor will always come back. There's right. So it's so beautiful. And this is exactly what you told us. It's a beautiful invitation for us to be aware of the opportunities and how we face them. And you really gave me like really good insights on how to look to those opportunities. Sometimes, as you said, we struggle a lot with things that we wish so hard that they were gone. But looking to that with gratitude is a good way of starting to change. So thank you. Thank you. Does anyone have any comments, any questions, any buildings?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Robbie. It's wonderful. It was wonderful. I love the image of the hourglass. That's definitely ingrained in my mind now.
As mine as well.
And the other thing that I really love is like how you put, different aspects from different books together, and as they arranged in a different way, they they hit different parts in me. I mean, yes, we've heard them all before, but in that combination, I haven't, and that's what's so awesome. So thank you for doing that, for putting effort in to bring so many aspects to the subject. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Yay, good. Thank you.
And I really appreciate the fact that you use not to impose, né? Not to be obligation. It is to be natural, talking about your own examples. And I think we are rebellious now inside of us. If we try to push you to do something, to force you, not talking about religions or what the other does, to impose fear, no, to have to change because imposing fears. No, I think everything had to be natural, and you will find your own way on your own time when you are ready for it. Like the fruit cannot fall from the tree if there is no ripe. And so that is the same with us. When we are ready to change, the change will be manifest, the truth will be manifest in ourselves. Very beautiful presentation. I love to see you this further, that we are walking together. I'm so grateful for you to have the opportunity to share with us your lessons and bringing out together the teachings of Spiritism to us, helping us to follow this step and to understand the process. I really appreciate. Thanks so much.
Hey, thank you. And I appreciate all of you for helping me along my path and all the guidance and knowledge you shared with me. So thank you so much.
Hey, Robbie, I really appreciate you highlighting to us that the teachings that we are receiving not only come from the Spiritism, it comes from all different sources. So Spiritism cannot claim that we know everything and that we are it. So I really appreciate that. That's important for our understanding. We're grateful for the resources of Spiritism. However, we need to be open-minded for other lines of thoughts that also bring the same message for different experiences. Another aspect that you brought to our attention that I really appreciate is to highlight the fact that even in mistakes, we are learning. Even in sin, there's learning going on, and that's what's important. We don't have to live a fake reality of being saint instead of assuming that, hey, I made a mistake, let's move on, let's just not dwell on it and keep going. I really appreciate that perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, good point, Charles. Good point. Thank you.
Yeah, Robbie, one observation is that you use a number of different sources to get the message across, from Spiritism and a broad assortment. Albert Einstein, my gosh, that was really wonderful. I didn't feel that a person who had not any orientation that heard this for the first time would be lost because they hadn't learned from all the various sources. You just presented it and then brought it together very nicely to help. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother.
All right, any other comments, any questions? No? Okay. All right, so Robbie, again, thank you very much. It was beautiful. You touched our heart, our soul. Guys, we'll take 2 minutes break. Let's see. Yeah, 3 minutes break. It's 11:01, 11:05. We are here. 4 minutes then. Let's round this. When you come back, please make sure that you have your glass of water and write down the names of those who you wish to bring for vibration. See you in 3.